Have you ever noticed how the world feels different in the early hours of the morning? The air is fresher, the sky is softer, and there's a quiet peace that whispers, "This is your time." But how many of us actually listen? How many of us wake up not just from sleep, but from the sleep of excuses, procrastination, and self-doubt? Let me tell you something. The way you start your day defines the way you live your life. When you wake up early, you give yourself the gift of time, the most precious gift of all. Time to breathe, time to reflect, time to prepare for the day ahead. But most of us don't see it that way, do we? We hit the snooze button on our alarms, and in doing so, we hit the snooze button on our goals, our dreams, our lives. Every morning you have a choice to either control the day or to let the day control. And that choice begins the moment you open your eyes. The way you start your day defines your life. Every morning when you open your eyes, you are given a new opportunity. An opportunity to take control, to set the tone for the day ahead, and to create the life you dream of. But too often we take this moment for granted. We wake up in a rush, scrambling to get out of bed, checking our phones before we even check in with ourselves. We let the day dictate our mood instead of stepping into it with intention. And in doing so, we allow life to happen to us instead of making life happen for us. Waking up early is not just about getting out of bed before the sun rises. It is about making a conscious decision to own your time. It is about giving yourself space before the world demands your attention. It is about starting your day with clarity rather than chaos. Because when you wake up in a rush, when you start your day feeling overwhelmed, you carry that energy with you. But when you wake up early, when you give yourself time to breathe, to reflect, to prepare, you step into the day with power. You take control. And that control follows you into everything you do. Imagine the difference between waking up 30 minutes early and waking up just in time to rush out the door. In one scenario, you have time to stretch, to be mindful, to set your intentions for the day. In the other, you are immediately thrown into stress, trying to catch up before the day has even begun. The way you start your morning determines whether you spend your day feeling in control or constantly trying to keep up. It determines whether you step into challenges with confidence or react to them with frustration. It determines whether you live your life with purpose or simply go through the motions. Think of the most successful people in the world: leaders, entrepreneurs, athletes, visionaries. They do not start their mornings by rushing. They do not begin their day by reacting to emails, notifications, and distractions. They start with intention. They wake up before the rest of the world, not because they have to, but because they understand that their mornings set the foundation for everything else. They use this time to reflect, to learn, to work on themselves, to fuel their bodies and minds before stepping into their responsibilities. But waking up early is not just about success in the traditional sense. It is not just about career achievements or productivity. It is about mental clarity. It is about emotional balance. It is about giving yourself the time to check in with yourself before checking in with the world. How often do we rush into our days without even pausing to ask ourselves how we feel, what we need, or what we want to accomplish? How often do we let the outside world determine our thoughts and emotions instead of setting our own mindset from the start? When you wake up early, you create space for yourself, space to breathe, space to move, space to dream. You give yourself the chance to start fresh, to leave behind yesterday's worries, and to step into today with purpose. It is in these quiet moments that you realize how much power you truly have over your own life. Because the way you start your day is not just about those first few hours. It sets the tone for everything that follows. If you start your day feeling rushed, overwhelmed, and unprepared, that feeling lingers. But if you start with calm, clarity, and intention, you carry that energy into everything you do. You have a choice. You can wake up and go through the motions, or you can wake up and take control. You can let life happen to you, or you can decide to take charge of your own story. And that decision, the choice to wake up early and start your day right, is one of the simplest yet most powerful changes you can make. Mornings are a time for self-growth. When the world is quiet, before the rush of responsibilities and distractions take over, there is a sacred opportunity to invest in yourself. It is in these early hours that you can nurture your mind, strengthen your body, and connect with your soul. But too often we overlook this gift. We wake up just in time to rush into the day, barely giving ourselves a moment to pause and breathe. And in doing so, we miss out on the most valuable time we have, the time to grow, to learn, to become better than we were yesterday. Self-growth does not happen by accident. It requires intention, effort, and consistency. And the best time to focus on this growth is in the morning, when your mind is fresh, your energy is undisturbed, and you have control over how you spend your time. In the early hours, there are no distractions, no urgent demands pulling you in different directions. It is a time when you can truly focus on yourself, uninterrupted and undisturbed. One of the most powerful ways to use this time for self-growth is through learning, whether it is reading a book, listening to a podcast, or writing in a journal. Feeding your mind in the morning sets a strong foundation for the rest of the day. When you start your morning by absorbing knowledge, by expanding your thoughts, you set yourself up for continuous growth. You open your mind to new ideas, new perspectives, and new possibilities. And when you make this a habit day after day, you transform the way you think, the way you see the world, and ultimately the way you live your life. Another essential aspect of self-growth is taking care of your body. Your body is the vehicle that carries you through life, and how you treat it in the morning affects how it performs throughout the day. Movement in the morning, whether it is stretching, yoga, a workout, or a simple walk, awakens your body and energizes your mind. It boosts your mood, increases your focus, and gives you the strength to take on the day ahead. When you start your morning by prioritizing your physical health, you reinforce the message that you respect yourself, that you value your well-being, and that you are committed to becoming the best version of yourself. But self-growth is not just about the mind and body. It is also about nurturing your soul. Taking time in the morning for stillness, for reflection, for gratitude allows you to connect with yourself on a deeper level. In the quiet of the morning, before the noise of the world takes over, you have the space to listen to your thoughts, to understand your emotions, and to align yourself with your purpose. Whether it is through meditation, prayer, or simply sitting in silence with a cup of tea, these moments of self-connection bring clarity, peace, and a sense of that. When you dedicate your mornings to self-growth, you are making a statement about what matters to you. You are choosing to prioritize your development, to invest in your future, to take charge of your own evolution. And the beauty of it is that this investment compounds over time. The books you read, the workouts you do, the thoughts you reflect on, all of it builds upon itself, shaping you into a stronger, wiser, more resilient version of yourself. Many people wait for the right time to focus on self-improvement, believing they will start when they have more time, more energy, or more motivation. But the truth is, the right time is always now. And the best way to begin is by dedicating your mornings to growth. Because what you do in the early hours does not just affect that moment. It affects the entire day. It shapes your mindset, influences your choices, and determines the energy you bring into everything you do. When you start your day with self-growth, you set yourself up for success, not just for the day, but for a lifetime. Choosing to wake up early is choosing discipline. It is a commitment to yourself, a silent promise that you will not let comfort dictate your life. The act of getting out of bed when your mind and body resist is more than just a routine. It is a declaration of control over your own actions. Discipline is not about convenience, it is about consistency. And waking up early is one of the simplest yet most powerful ways to build that discipline, shaping you into a person who does what needs to be done regardless of how you feel in the moment. The struggle to wake up early is real. The warmth of the blankets, the temptation to sleep just a little longer, the voice in your head that whispers, "You deserve more rest." These are the daily battles between discipline and comfort. But every time you choose to rise, you strengthen your willpower. Every time you resist the urge to hit snooze, you prove to yourself that you are stronger than your excuses. This small act of discipline spills over into every other area of your life. When you master your mornings, you master your mindset. When you master your mindset, you master your habits. And when you master your habits, you master your life. Waking up early requires a shift in perspective. It is not about sacrificing sleep. It is about prioritizing what matters. It is about choosing growth over comfort, action over procrastination, and purpose over passivity. Those who wake up early are not necessarily morning people by nature. They have simply trained themselves to value their time. They understand that success is not built on motivation alone. It is built on discipline. Motivation is fleeting, but discipline is a habit. And waking up early is a daily practice that reinforces this habit, making discipline a way of life rather than an occasional effort. There is a profound connection between waking up early and achieving goals. The extra hours in the morning give you time to work on yourself before the world demands your attention. Whether it is exercising, reading, planning your day, or working on a passion project, the morning allows you to focus on what truly matters without distractions. Those who rise early get ahead not because they have more talent, intelligence, or luck, but because they have more time. And more importantly, they use that time wisely. Discipline is about making tough choices repeatedly until they become second nature. In the beginning, waking up early feels like a challenge. Your body resists, your mind complains, and the temptation to sleep a little longer is overwhelming. But discipline is built through repetition. The more you push yourself to rise early, the easier it becomes. Over time, it is no longer a struggle. It is simply who you are. You become the person who wakes up early, the person who does the hard things, the person who refuses to let laziness win. Many people admire discipline but fail to practice it because they wait for the right moment, the right circumstances, the right feeling. But discipline does not wait for perfect conditions. It is built in the moments when you push yourself despite discomfort. When you wake up early, you are training your mind to overcome resistance, to act with intention, and to stay committed even when it is not easy. And that mindset, that ability to choose discipline over comfort, carries over into every aspect of your life. Your work, your health, your relationships, and your dreams. The difference between those who achieve their goals and those who do not is rarely talent or luck. It is discipline. It is the willingness to do what others won't. It is the habit of showing up even when it is hard. And waking up early is one of the simplest yet most effective ways to practice this discipline every single day. Because when you win the morning, you win the day. And when you win the day, you win at life. Comfort zones hold you back. They create an illusion of safety, a space where nothing challenges you, nothing pushes you, and nothing forces you to grow. It feels good to stay comfortable, to avoid difficulties, to stick with what is familiar. But the truth is, growth never happens in comfort. Everything you have ever wanted, success, confidence, strength, and transformation, exists beyond the boundaries of what is easy. And waking up early is one of the first and simplest ways to break free from those limits. The moment your alarm rings in the morning, you face a decision: to stay in the comfort of your bed or to push yourself to rise. That single choice reflects a much bigger reality. Every time you choose comfort over discipline, you reinforce a habit of staying the same. But every time you challenge yourself to step beyond what is easy, you develop the mindset of a person who grows, who evolves, who refuses to settle for mediocrity. The act of waking up early is not just about time. It is about training your mind to embrace discomfort as a path to something greater. People often say they want to change their lives, but they do not want to change their habits. They want success without struggle, growth without discomfort, and achievement without effort. But that is not how life works. Every breakthrough, every achievement, every moment of transformation begins when you decide to push yourself beyond what feels comfortable. Waking up early is a daily reminder that you are capable of doing hard things. It is proof that you can resist temptation, overcome excuses, and choose growth over stagnation. Comfort zones are not just about sleep. They exist in every part of life. The fear of failure, the fear of rejection, the fear of stepping into the unknown, these are all forms of comfort zones. They keep you where you are, preventing you from taking risks, trying new things, and reaching your full potential. But the most successful people in the world did not get there by staying comfortable. They got there by pushing past their limits, by doing what others were unwilling to do, by waking up early to work on their dreams while the rest of the world slept. The human mind naturally seeks comfort, but true fulfillment comes from progress. Think about the moments in your life when you felt the most alive, the most accomplished, the most proud of yourself. Were those moments easy? Or were they the result of pushing through challenges, overcoming obstacles, and stepping into the unknown? Growth happens when you challenge yourself. Strength is built when you push past resistance. Confidence is developed when you prove to yourself that you are stronger than your excuses. Waking up early is one of the simplest yet most powerful ways to develop this mindset. It is a small act of discipline that has a ripple effect on every part of your life. When you start your day by stepping out of comfort, you carry that energy with you into everything else you do. You become more willing to take risks, to face challenges, to say yes to opportunities that scare you. You start seeing obstacles not as barriers, but as stepping stones to something greater. The difference between those who succeed and those who stay stuck is not intelligence, luck, or talent. It is the willingness to do what is uncomfortable. It is the courage to wake up early to take action, to step outside of what feels easy and familiar. It is the mindset of growth, of resilience, of refusing to settle for a life that is anything less than extraordinary, because in the end, everything you want is on the other side of your comfort zone. The only question is, are you willing to step out and claim it? Snoozing your alarm is snoozing your dreams. Every time you hit that snooze button, you are not just delaying your morning, you are delaying your goals, your growth, and your success. It may seem like just 5 more minutes of sleep, but in reality, it is 5 more minutes of postponing your potential. It is a small decision that reflects a larger pattern in life. When you choose comfort over discipline in the first moment of your day, you set the tone for how you will approach everything else. Success is not built on grand gestures or occasional bursts of motivation. It is built on small, consistent habits. And one of the first choices you make every single day is whether to wake up with purpose or to delay your own progress. When you wake up on time, you take control of your day. You decide that your goals are more important than temporary comfort. But when you snooze your alarm, you let your excuses win. You tell yourself that extra sleep is more valuable than the life you are trying to create. The problem is not just the extra sleep. It is the mindset that snoozing creates. When you hit snooze, you are reinforcing a habit of avoidance. You are telling yourself that you can always delay things, that it is okay to put off what needs to be done. And that habit does not stay confined to your mornings. It spills into everything else. You start snoozing your responsibilities, snoozing your commitments, snoozing your dreams. Before you know it, days turn into weeks, weeks turn into months, and your goals remain untouched because you kept waiting for the right time to start. On the other hand, when you wake up early and start your day with intention, you build momentum. You prove to yourself that you are in control of your actions, that you have the power to push through resistance. This single act of discipline in the morning sets the stage for the rest of your day. It creates a chain reaction. When you start with discipline, you continue with discipline. You become more productive, more focused, and more committed to your goals. You stop making excuses and start making progress. The most successful people in the world understand the power of starting the day right. They do not waste their mornings in bed wishing for more time. They create more time by waking up early and using it wisely. They know that every extra minute spent sleeping is a minute lost in chasing their dreams. They do not let a snooze button dictate their future. They take charge of it. Many people think that waking up early is just about productivity, but it is about so much more. It is about self-respect. It is about showing up for yourself, proving that your dreams matter. It is about keeping the promises you make to yourself. no matter how small. Because if you cannot keep the simple promise of waking up when you said you would, how can you expect to stay committed to the bigger goals in your life? The hardest part of anything is the first step. Waking up early is no different. But once you push past that initial discomfort, once you resist the temptation to snooze, you realize something powerful. You are stronger than your excuses. You are capable of more than you thought. And that realization does not just change your morning. It changes your entire life. Each morning, you have a choice. You can hit snooze and stay exactly where you are, or you can wake up and take a step toward the life you want. And the truth is, success is just the collection of these small choices made every single day. So ask yourself, are you willing to wake up and chase your dreams, or will you keep snoozing them away? The way you start your morning shapes the rest of your day. From the moment you open your eyes, your mind begins to absorb the energy, habits, and routines you set for yourself. If you wake up feeling rushed, hitting snooze multiple times, and scrambling to get ready, that energy follows you throughout the day. You feel scattered, stressed, and overwhelmed as if you are constantly playing catch-up. But when you wake up early and begin your day with a sense of purpose and control, everything changes. You create a calm, intentional rhythm that carries into everything you do. Mornings are the foundation of your mindset. The thoughts you think, the actions you take, and the emotions you feel in those first few hours influence how you respond to challenges, how you interact with others, and how productive you become. If your morning is chaotic, your mind will be chaotic. But if your morning is peaceful and structured, you will carry that clarity and confidence with you. That is why successful people guard their mornings fiercely. They understand that how they begin their day determines how they end it. Waking up early gives you the time to start the day on your terms, rather than reacting to the demands of the world. Too many people wake up and immediately reach for their phones, checking emails, social media, and messages before they even get out of bed. This instantly puts them in a reactive state, responding to external demands instead of focusing on their own well-being. But when you wake up early and prioritize yourself first, you take back control. You get to decide how your day begins, setting a positive tone that influences everything that follows. One of the best ways to set the right tone for your day is through a mindful morning routine. This does not mean filling your morning with endless tasks. It simply means creating a series of small, meaningful habits that help you feel grounded and prepared. It could be journaling, reading something inspiring, stretching, exercising, or simply sitting in silence with a cup of tea. These moments of stillness and reflection allow you to check in with yourself before the world demands your attention. They help you set intentions for the day, reminding you of your goals, your values, and what truly matters. Physical movement in the morning is another powerful way to set a strong tone for the day. Exercise releases endorphins, boosts energy levels, and improves focus, helping you feel more alert and ready to take on challenges. Even something as simple as a short walk or a few stretches can make a difference. When you start your day by taking care of your body, you send a message to yourself that your health and well-being are a priority. That energy then translates into the rest of your day, making you more productive, confident, and motivated. Beyond routines, the way you speak to yourself in the morning also matters. If your first thoughts are filled with negativity, self-doubt, or stress, that mindset will carry into everything you do. But if you start your day with gratitude, positive affirmations, and an empowered mindset, you set yourself up for success. Remind yourself of your strengths, your dreams, and your potential. Speak to yourself with kindness and encouragement. The words you choose in the morning can either uplift you or hold you back, so choose them wisely. Every morning, you are given a fresh start, a new opportunity to create the life you want. The way you begin your day is a choice, and that choice determines the energy, attitude, and actions that follow. When you wake up early and start your day with intention, you do not just change your mornings. You change your entire life.